Very great pleasure and privilege now to be introducing to you one of my favourite people in Mannatech. In fact, one of my favourite people, full stop. He's travelled halfway around the world to be with us here for our convention. Dr. Steve Nugent is the Executive Director of Complementary Health, and he began his career in this field as a nutrition consultant in 1997. Since then, he studied and achieved 6 degrees, including 2 PhDs. He completed his associate's, bachelor's and master's degrees of an evening whilst serving as a US Marine. He's a doctor of naturopathic medicine and has a PhD in psychology. Dr. Nugent had a clinical practice for over 20 years, and people came to him from all over the world. Such was his reputation as a clinician. Currently the President of the International Association of Complementary Medicine and President Emeritus of the American Naturopathic Medical Association. He's an expert in dietary supplements, as I'm sure many of you will realise after hearing him at his training yesterday. He's one of the most intelligent and knowledgeable men I have ever met in the field of complementary medicine. He loves Australia. He thinks Australians are great. So on top of everything else, he's also a man of impeccable taste. Please give a very, very warm welcome to Dr. Steve Nugent.
Gosh, I love it down here, I'll tell you what. This is like coming home for me. All year as I'm doing my continuous low orbit of planet Earth, I look forward to the Australasian Convention as the highlight of my year. So I'm so glad I'm here. Today I have the privilege of being able to introduce to you one of Mannatech's most important technologies in the entire history of Mannatech. And we're going to have only 20 minutes to do this, less than that now, and I need all of you to listen very, very carefully to make sure that you get all this good information, because this product will not only change your health and the health of everyone that you talk with. Now first, let's start with what was wrong. How many of you have seen newspaper articles in various cities that say, the people of our nation are getting thinner? You don't see that, do you? You see quite the opposite. In fact, really, excess body fat is becoming a major health issue in so many countries. In the United States, one of our 50 states is considering passing a law that would put a tax on body fat, because there are so many health issues that are directly related to excess body fat, and medical care systems are breaking down all over the planet. You're all aware of that, aren't you? It's our job to help people with their health. And one of those big steps is to get that excess body fat off. Because no matter how much product you take, until you are lean, you are not healthy. So in the United States, they invent the low-calorie theory in 1930. And then in 1948, U.S. scientists invent the low-fat theory. And then in 1972, doctors in the U.S. introduced the low-carbohydrate diet. And guess what? The United States is a big, fat country. 2/3 of the U.S. is overweight. 61 million people in the U.S. are grossly overweight. Let's take a look at the track record after telling people low fat is the right way to eat. What you're looking at right now is the first map from Centers of Disease Control in the U.S. And I want you to see how well low fat has done since they have introduced it. You'll watch the colors will get darker on the map, indicating there are higher percentages of people overweight. And at one point, the colors even don't just get darker, they have to change totally, because the number of people getting overweight by state. Look at the years on the top of the map and watch this progress starting in 1985. Oh, low fat is working really well there, isn't it? Apparently it's really doing well in 1995. Yep, things are getting bad. In fact, the United States is getting so fat now that there are problems with the planet going into a wobble in orbit. Yep, there's one of those states where body fat's a real problem. They've had to put a new color on the map. Oops. In fact, in the United States, the country that invented low-cal diet, low-fat diet, and low-carb dieting, we are clearly not succeeding. Why? Because the theories are wrong. Here in Australasia, at the University of Sydney, New South Wales, there is research going on. Low glycemic eating. That's the diet you should be on. That's the one that works. And if we could get everyone in Australasia to do it, as well as taking this new product, Osoline, this would be the leanest, healthiest region on planet Earth by doing both. So let's talk about the answer. The answer is not losing weight. The answer is changing your ratio between your lean mass, that's muscle, and your fat mass. You want to get rid of the fat. That's all that counts. Weight is irrelevant. Well, we have a new product called Osoline. And some say, how'd that name come about? Somebody in marketing thought, well, you'll walk up to someone and you'll say, oh, you're so lean. Well, it wasn't my choice of names, but you know what? That's the name of the product, and that's what we're going to go with. And although it doesn't work in every language, in English it doesn't work too badly, so we'll use that name. 2 double-blind, placebo-controlled studies, and then a third study, open-label study done, all 3 giving us the same data again and again and again. What does the data show? This product works. It does exactly what we say it does. And that by itself makes this different than all of the competition. Unfortunately, on the label it says whey protein. Now, what's the problem with that? Well, the problem is that's not really what this is. This is an exclusive peptide technology. Could you join me in repeating that phrase? An exclusive peptide technology. And I want all of you to think in those terms. If you think whey protein, you're going to fail. And I'll show you why in a moment. Now, whey protein is the donor protein that we take the peptides from. Protein and our Osoline technology is about the same as comparing a block of granite to a Rodin sculpture. It's that different. So don't lead with the words whey protein, and I'll tell you how to explain this. You see, this exclusive peptide technology, I'm going to keep repeating that, is exclusive to Mannatech. It is so 21st century. Imagine now, we have taken enzymes. These are called proteolytic enzymes. That means enzymes that eat protein. These proteolytic enzymes were then selectively directed to cleave only certain peptides from the protein chains. Different peptides do different activities. And we targeted specific peptides from the whey protein and left the rest of the bit by itself. So we've got just the active bits that we need to accomplish a mission that no other product in the industry can do. Only this product. Now, this is not an enzyme product. It's a peptide technology. You folks getting that? Okay. Now let's talk about the 4 mechanisms of action. Mechanism number 1. Well, the first thing we want to do is have you be lean. For you to be lean, that means more muscle. If you're going to make muscle, you need to be able to convert proteins that you eat, you need to synthesize them, if you will, into muscle mass. You do that using 3 amino acids. And you see them abbreviated on the screen. They are leucine, isoleucine, and valine. Those 3 aminos are in the first mechanism of action. That helps us turn protein into lean mass. You want to be lean to be healthy. Next, you will go on the internet and look this up because I haven't the time to explain this bit to you, but I'll give you this. Angiotensin-converting enzyme is something you don't want to be active in your body. You go on the internet and you look up angiotensin-converting enzyme, and you'll read all kinds of unpleasantness about it, And you'll say, you know what? If there was a peptide that could inhibit the function of angiotensin-converting enzyme even a little bit, what a benefit! There are many health benefits in doing this, but one of the big benefits in terms of getting lean is that by inhibiting angiotensin-converting enzyme, you can actually reduce the amount of fat. So that's a major mechanism of action. We also have glycomacropeptides. Oh, gosh, what is that? Again, these are peptides. Now, these peptides are designed to help you release or produce more of something called cholecystokinin, or doctors abbreviate this as CCK. Cholecystokinin. You have below your stomach, you have a little pocket that's called the duodenum. And in some countries, they call it the duodenum. Tomato, tomato. Anyway, so the duodenum, when it gets the right stimulus, either from a protein or a fat, it will produce and release cholecystokinin. Why is this important? When cholecystokinin goes to the brain, that says, you know what? I'm not. In fact, I feel pretty satisfied right now. I don't think I need to eat that mountain of food that I normally eat. I think I could eat less. Now you'll see on the label, everyone listen carefully, you'll see on the label, it says take this product 20 minutes before food. You have 4 mechanisms of action. One mechanism only is dependent on that 20 minutes. That is the release of cholecystokinin. Take this product 20 minutes before you eat. Take it anyway. Take it with the meal. Take it after the meal. Take it in between the meal. You will still get mechanisms 1, 2, and 4. So the 20 minutes before is only to help you with appetite control. All right? Number 4, calcitrophic hormone regulation. Oh my God, what does that mean? The hormones that regulate whether or not you will burn fat or not are calcitrophic hormone. If you can regulate that, then you regulate something called lipolysis. What does that mean? It means burning fat. So, very quickly, you have in mechanism number 1 what you need to synthesize protein into lean muscle mass. In number 2, you have inhibiting peptides that can partially inhibit the function of angiotensin-converting enzyme, and that means less new fat stored. Another advantage. Number 3, I feel more satisfied when I release CCK 20 minutes before I eat, and I have to eat less. And number 4, I can help to regulate the amount of fat which is converted into energy, and that, of course, is what you want. Now, folks, think about this. Any one of these 4 mechanisms is its own product. Any one of those 4 mechanisms could sell product like crazy all over the world. And you have all 4 in one product, proven by 3 studies. This product works. Now, it's not about weight. It's about fat. You have to start getting this in your minds and everyone you talk to in their minds. The scale is useless. Throw it out the window. Look at the study. We're looking at about 2.5 kilos of weight lost over 8 weeks. Big deal. What's important? This is important. What was lost in those kilos? Well, the control group that did not receive the peptide blend, they lost approximately the same amount of weight as the group that did use the peptide blend. But 50% was fat and 50% was muscle. The other group using the peptide technology, they lost some muscle, but they lost mostly fat per kilo. In fact, in the completer group, about 75% of each kilo was fat. This is amazing. This makes this product different than all the other products on the market. Now, here are the 10 biomarkers of vitality. And some refer to these as biomarkers of aging. But I call them vitality. Muscle mass. You're going to have more. No, you won't be bulked up real big, but you'll be more lean than you are fluffy. If you have more muscle mass, you're going to be stronger, more energy. You're going to be more alert. You are going to have, in fact, a significant contribution to 9 of the 10 biomarkers that I have underlined simply by getting lean. This is fabulous. And you can do all 10 if you have the right diet, if you increase your activity, and you use the Osoline product as directed. Isn't that super for our health? Here's another example for you to think about lean as opposed to weight. So we're looking at the difference here. We have a bodybuilder, 209 pounds. Of this bodybuilder is lean. 11 is, and this was from an American study, so it's in pounds. 11 is fat. Here we have what in America we call the couch potato. This individual weighs the same weight, 220 pounds, they're both the same weight, but the more muscle mass you have, the more you can eat without gaining weight. The bodybuilder needs to eat 24, 22 calories, whereas the couch potato, if he exceeds 1882, he will gain more weight, and the weight will be in the form of fat. So we need to be thinking about fat, not weight. So we're thinking about centimeters, not kilograms. Centimeters. So we're going to measure, because muscle weighs approximately 3 times more than fat does per centimeter. Now for all the ladies, if you, and I hope I get the dress size thing right, if you start at a dress size 18 and you drop down to a dress size 12 and you gain a kilo, is that okay? You bet it is. All right. Hope I got the dress size thing right. You're going to keep a daily food diary. This is extremely important. When your new client starts, you want them to keep a record of what they eat, because most people have no idea how much they're eating and what they're doing to themselves. You want to measure. You're going to be supplied with a chart and a tape measure, and you want to get in the habit of measuring. Now, you're going to measure once every 7 days, not every day, once every 7 days, because you'll have changes in water weight and that sort of thing, and you'll be swollen some days and not other days and so on. Once every 7 days, and then you average it out. It's about the clothing size. Just to let you know, in 1998, Mannatech was first in the world to create a system specifically devised to support glycemic index dieting. 2005, the biggest newspaper in the U.S. says glycemic index dieting is the right way to go. Mannatech was way ahead. And again, with this new technology, we are way ahead of the rest of the world. So with this new technology, we are going to be able to do things for our vitality and our health, and yes, your appearance, that you had not previously imagined. You want to mix this with the GlycoSlim meal replacement drink. Why? The studies were done with a reduction of 500 calories per day per individual. If you use the GlycoSlim drink, which will cost you only 140 calories, you can replace an entire meal, which will save you far more than 500 calories. In fact, the average Australasian breakfast is going to go somewhere between 1,000 and 1,800 calories. I've been observing. So you're going to save a lot simply by using the meal replacement drink. Mix your Osoline powder in there. It will taste great. The Osoline powder doesn't taste so good by itself. And if you think it tastes good, then you need more Ambertos. So we've discussed already the 20-minute issue. We're not going to go back over that again. We know how to mix it, and we're reinforcing the fact that we are going to measure centimeters, not kilograms. Centimeters are all that count. All right, here's a couple of quick FAQs, and you're going to get them, and I want to give this to you. My time is running very short now. So people are going to look at this, and they're going to say, I think I'm allergic to dairy. Whey comes from dairy. Most people who think they're allergic to dairy are simply lactose intolerant. They're not allergic to dairy at all. But they don't know that, because they get unpleasantness when they consume dairy. They actually need an enzyme called lactase. That's it. So it's not an allergy. Well, how much lactose is in the product? Not much. Your servings are 12.2 milligram servings each. Approximately 3% of that, or 0.336 milligrams lactose per serving. Lactose intolerance reactions begin at around 26 milligrams for the average person. Will you react to this if you're lactose intolerant? Probably not. But if you do, then take some lactase enzymes and use the product. Here's the next idea, and this is about another thing about food allergies. The majority of people who are actually allergic to milk are allergic to a protein which is called casein. Casein makes up 80 to 90% of all the protein in milk. Mannatech is aware of that, and with our super technology, look what we have done. We have, through reverse osmosis, ultrafiltration, and microfiltration, removed all the casein from the product. There's no casein to worry about. I think that's pretty cool as well. Again, if you have allergy questions, you go to safetymonitoring@mannatech.com. Here's a big additional benefit of the product in my last few seconds. Calcium in the real food form. Calcium that your body actually knows how to digest, absorb, and utilize. And it's a lot of calcium. 450 milligrams per serving, and additional magnesium as well in the pure food form. There are no salts, no oxides, no chelates, no junk, just pure food calcium. This product has so many benefits, you cannot go wrong. Start people on this plan. You will find that people who would not talk to you about optimal health will talk to you in a heartbeat about Osoline. And guess what? You don't need to hire an expert to figure out the demographics of your market. You'll just look at the folks and privately say to yourself, well, they could use some Osoline. Folks, this product is going to revitalize your business. It's going to make Australasia grow so fast. And I'll tell you what, you have the ability to pre-order this product. You better do that because it will get wiped out super fast. I'm a few seconds over time. Thank you, folks. Oh, little training on this tomorrow as well. Thank you.